Hello, I'm Mike. By now you should know that. I want to talk Superman Returns. Wow. Well, back in 2006 when this film was being built up, I was so excited. I read all the Empire magazines. I had no internet access, so there was no buzz like now with Man of Steel. It was all about reading the magazines, and it was really exciting to me. And I thought, this film is amazing. And of course, it was even more exciting because that was when Smallville was still going on. So that was really exciting because you had the excitement of Smallville. We were back in season 5, and we had a great Superman TV show, and we had a big Superman movie coming. My personal opinion, once I saw the movie, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and I thought this is going to be a big deal. Little did I know that half the fan base hated it, and let's be clear with Superman Returns. Financially, it wasn't a flop. It just wasn't the big record-breaking money spinner that Warner Brothers wanted. It made about 400 million worldwide. Worldwide, it was actually the most successful film of 2006. So there was no big thing in 2006, but it made its money, but it didn't make the record-breaking, if you like, Dark Knight money. So it was it was split down the middle. Some people loved it, some people hated it. Why did people hate it? Well, look, I understand people's issues. There's this element of continuing from Richard Donner's franchise. People thought that was a stupid idea. I get that because at the end of the day, for us who saw the Donner movie, it was exciting. But for people who didn't actually live that franchise, I totally get that. There was the big complaint, obviously, with the kid, Jason. People didn't like Superman having a kid. I'm sure if his name was Connor Kent instead of Jason, people would have been very excited. And again, maybe Singer should have thought about things a bit more differently. The problem is, Bryan Singer looked at this. He was obsessed with Donner's original movie. All he wanted to do was continue from that, do half like a reboot and half kind of do the same thing all over again. And this was the issue, really. And let's be honest, I enjoyed the movie, as I say, but it didn't work universally, and there was this issue with it. And the issue actually, there were so many issues with it. There was the issue that people were calling Superman a stalker, watching Lois Lane in her flat. There was this absentee father, which was load of BS, because let's get this straight. Superman's in Krypton for 5 years, seeing if there's any survivors. He doesn't even know he's got a kid. So you can't label that at him. It was, in the end, I think people were just hating on it just because it was something to do. And now every blog, every comment on the social media or on YouTube, even when they talk about Man of Steel, they've got to knock Superman Returns over the head as well. And I think it's outrageous. Bryan Singer is an absolute talent. He's a great guy and a passionate guy, and he just tried to do what he thought was right. Ultimately, it wasn't right for everyone, but it was still a damn good movie. And the big tragedy here, of course, is we were going to get this amazing Superman Man of Steel sequel from Singer, which was going to introduce Brainiac, and I mean, Brainiac was going to go inside Jason's body or whatever he was going to do, and Superman was going to end up killing Jason. And just imagine how compelling that would have been. How would Lois and Richard White reacted to Superman with that, so it would have been really compelling, and it would have been great. And I actually believe that Superman Returns should have been given a go for a sequel. He should have been given that chance. It made solid money. I know it wasn't great. I know not everyone liked it. It's history now, obviously, but I still think Bryan Singer was given a raw deal, and I'm just really glad now that he's back with X-Men. He's actually making First Class, as we know, not First Class, the sequel to X-Men First Class, which is X-Men Future Past, where you're going to have the new actors and the older actors like Patrick Stewart, and it's going to be awesome, obviously, and I can't wait for that. But yeah, I never understood the hate for Superman Returns. I can understand people being disappointed because they didn't get what they wanted, but it was hardly a hack job. There was some great stuff going on there. You can criticise a few things, but you can criticise any work of art, anything that artists do. At the end of the day, it was great. I mean, you just think about what happened in the movie. I mean, you had an awesome Fortress of Solitude. I thought the moment when Superman is talking to Jason at the end of the film was so emotional, repeating the words that Jor-El said to him. I was in tears. I thought it was amazing, and so there was obviously, I think universally we all loved the action sequences, but a lot of us said there wasn't enough of it. I mean, the bullet in the eye was amazing. There were some great moments. Yeah, okay, there wasn't. It wasn't what you wanted. It wasn't it wasn't the stuff that you read in the comics all the time, and it was a continuation of a film that was really old. And yes, I admit that was very self-indulgent of Brian, but I still believe it shouldn't have got the rap that it did. And I mean, I went to the cinema, I watched it twice. I really enjoyed it, and as I say, if you watch the film, and I mean, let's just talk about actually. Let's stop you there, because what about the return to Krypton sequence? That's pretty special. And another mistake there, definitely a mistake. That return to Krypton sequence should have certainly been in the film. That should have been before the opening credits. We should have saw that, then the opening credits. That would have been wonderful, and that was certainly a wonderful scene. And what was going there? What was Brian thinking, and his editors, and Warner? Why wasn't that added? I guess we'll never know. I'd love to see a director's cut. A lot of us have asked for one, but we're not going to get it now. I know we're heading for Man of Steel. Man of Steel looks awesome. I'm really happy we're getting it. We've got the right people involved. I have no complaints about Man of Steel whatsoever, but I do think that Bryan Singer got a harsh run with Superman Returns. I know there was issues. I know people accused him, I don't know if this is true, that he'd never read the comics, he didn't study the comics, and things like that, and the suit, people didn't really like the suit. There was a lot of things people didn't like, but because, I'll be honest, I'm not a comic book reader, because I'm not a comic book reader and I'm a film watcher, I don't read anything, books or anything. I know that's my loss, I'm not saying I'm right to do that, but it's just me. So I was looking at it from a different perspective, so I just watched the film, so I can understand where people who read the comics are coming from, but if you watch it as a standalone movie, forget the comics, just see it as a Superman movie. Actually, it wasn't so bad.